President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday declared open the 61st meeting of the United Nations World Tourism Organization Commission for Africa in Abuja by inviting tourists and investors to consider Nigeria as their second home. The president, who was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, said his administration has attractive investment incentives for investors in the tourism sector, including minimum tariff on imported tourism equipment and others. The president added that his administration, having identified tourism sector as one of the pillars of his diversification policy, is also investing heavily in infrastructure and human resource development in order to make Nigeria a choice destination for tourists.
The government is committed to providing public safety and security to all Nigerians, investors and tourists. Government is also investing a lot of resources into building the inventory of equipment and capacity of security agencies to keep the country safe. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it may interest you to know that Nigeria is a country with a population of over 180 million people and over 250 ethnic groups, with each one having a unique story. And these stories are finding expression in our movies, music, and many other creative ideas. Our music and movies, in particular, have taken the world by storm for the creative young talents in our dear country. Nigeria, the best is yet to come. It is on this basis that I call on tourists and investors in the tourism sector to consider Nigeria as their second home and also a fit and proper destination. This government has attractive investment incentives for investors in the tourism sector, including but not limited to pioneer status to all major tourist or tourism projects.
In his welcome remarks, Minister of Information and Culture Alhaji Lai Mohammed, who is the host minister, said hosting the event in Nigeria is a testimony to the achievements of the Buhari administration, especially in the area of security, also citing the visa on arrival policy of the government as a pointer to that fact.
This year's meeting, which is tourism statistics and catalyst for development, is quite apt and timely, as Nigeria is witnessing giant strides in development of viable and sustainable alternatives to oil and gas. With its abundant natural resources, vibrant culture, interesting history, predominance of tourist products, large population, and the hospitable disposition of our people, Nigeria is currently recognized as one of Africa's leading economies and emerging market by the World Bank. Tourism has become an important sector of the economy for many member states, especially as an important source of foreign exchange earnings.
The minister said the meeting provides an excellent opportunity to discuss ways and means to promote intra-African travels and tourism, leveraging on the continent's vast and unique resources and our number for mutual benefit to all member states. On his part, Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Lagos State, Steve Ayorinde, said harnessing the tourism potential in different states of the country will further position Nigeria for global investment.
His Excellency the Governor campaigned with tourism project this, tourism, hospitality, entertainment and the arts with sports to promote excellence. And we can see the gains that we have achieved in the last 3 years. So this is an opportunity for us to say that yes, we will market our state, but of course we also have to market our country. And the country does not exist without all the states coming together to say that this is what Lagos State has got to offer, this is what Kano has got to offer, this is what Rivers State has got to offer. So we're happy that after the deliberations today and tomorrow, they are all coming down to Lagos to see a demonstrable evidence of what tourism means in Lagos State. Eco Atlantic is probably the biggest, of its type in the continent. They will see Freedom Park. They will see a few other, places that have put Lagos on the map, because everybody is talking about Lagos as far as tourism is concerned. So we're happy that yes, Nigeria is hosting, but Lagos is also supporting that initiative.
The 3-day meeting is being attended by over 500 delegates, including 26 African ministers of tourism, the Secretary General of the UNWTO, who is leading the top executives of the global tourism body, as well as tourism experts and stakeholders. From Abuja, I'm Festus Ejirogenefifen for Ben Television.
The federal government, as said, President Muhammadu Buhari is reviewing the 2018 appropriation bill recently passed by the National Assembly. Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udoma disclosed this to State House Correspondent after meeting with President. The National Assembly last month passed the 2018 budget, increasing the proposal of 2.8 trillion presented by Buhari in December last year to 9.1 trillion naira. The past appropriation bill was transmitted to President Buhari last Friday. Asked why Buhari has not signed the budget, Udoma said the president is currently reviewing the budget. As you know, he has a minimum windows of 30 days before the assent.
Ghana High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ambassador Rashid Bawa, has declared as untrue the recent statement credited to Nigerian former President Goodluck Jonathan, which added that Ghanaian president mocked the poor state of security in Nigeria as well as weakening status of the Naira. The Ghana envoy to Nigeria has made this known in an exclusive chat with Ben Television in Abuja. Ambassador Rashid Bawa, while reacting to the statement, said the former president took the words of President Akufo-Addo completely out of context.
The attention of the Ghana High Commission in Nigeria, and indeed of the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has been drawn to comments made by the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan, to the effect that President Akufo-Addo has made disparaging remarks about Nigeria. It is important to stress that the comments made by the former Nigerian president at the inauguration of the first bridge built by the Governor Ayodele Fayose of Ekiti State in Edo, Ekiti, took the words of President Akufo-Addo completely out of context. Indeed, in the speech delivered by President Akufo-Addo at the Oxford African Conference, one of the instances used by the former President Goodluck Jonathan, these are the exact words of President Akufo-Addo. I begin with the quote. For most of you in the audience today, it is probably before your time, but in the late 1970s up to the mid-1980s, as a result of the discovery of considerable petroleum deposits, Nigeria was booming. It was the place to be. We Ghanaians, who were going through very difficult times then, will arrive at Heathrow Airport and be headed into a cage to be subjected to the full third degree by immigration, and we will look on as our Nigerian cousins will be waved through with a welcome sir and a welcome madam.
The ambassador also reacted to the statement made by former President Jonathan that Ghana is not Nigeria where cattle can roam about anyhow, saying that his country's president can never make such statement.
How then can anyone describe these words by President Akufo-Addo as intending to mock Nigeria? Again, the other alleged remark that Ghana is not Nigeria where cattle can roam about anyhow has never, I repeat, has never been made by President Akufo-Addo. That is not the way of his speaking. President Akufo-Addo, in many of his speeches he has made in Nigeria and elsewhere since becoming president of Ghana, has described Nigeria as, I begin with a quote, "a country I describe as my second home in the world," end of quote. I will never use Nigeria to make negative examples, as the former President Goodluck Jonathan sought to portray.
In Abuja, LM Chukwuemeka reports. As part of effort to ensure that President Muhammadu Buhari is re-elected into office come 2019, Ambassador Hussaini Kumasi has been appointed Deputy Zonal Coordinator of the Presidential Campaign Organization in the northwest part of the country. Ambassador Kumasi, who had played a prominent role in the politics of the nation, was once the pillar behind the success of the campaign organization of President Muhammadu Buhari in the last presidential election. National Coordinator BCO Danladi Gaba, while presenting the appointment letter to him, said the organization had confidence in him that he would deliver and help in settling disputes among party members in the zone.
In fact, we are hosting our Deputy Coordinator Northwest in person of Ambassador Kumasi. In fact, Northwest is the bulk of 2009 agenda for Mr. President. In fact, the bulk of the votes is coming from Northwest, and Northwest is key to our program and to our agenda. And we know that the person that is taking the leadership, the Deputy Coordinator from Northwest, is somebody that can deliver. Is an upright person, a diplomat, and we know that by God rest, 2019 will be a child play. It is a known fact that the profile of our principal, Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, is very, very clear for Nigeria to see. There are a lot of issues on ground that we have really make it that is very, very clear. Mr. President has successfully bring back peace to the country, and the issue of empowerment is also on cost. Over 60 million Nigerians have benefited from AMCO Borrower program, so we have pushed over 60 million Nigerians to become farmers, especially our young generation.
Ambassador Kumasi, while accepting the appointment letter, said he will put his best to ensure that President Muhammadu Buhari is brought back to power in 2019.
I thank Almighty Allah for giving me this opportunity to be here today and to be in the midst of wonderful people, especially you, the National Coordinator, and for giving me the privilege to contribute my own quota. I appreciate it, and we will continue to give you the maximum support you are looking for, and by the special grace of Allah, we will deliver.
Ambassador Hussaini Kumasi, before his appointment, is the National Coordinator of Project One Nigeria and also the National Convener of Nigerian First Initiative, a grassroots support group for the current administration. In Abuja, LM Chukwuemeka reports.
The immediate past governor of Edo State, Comrade Adam Oshiomhole, has said he's gunning for the top job of the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, to bring changes to the course of running political party in the country. Speaking in an exclusive chat with Adeniyi Fetayo in Naoshi, Edo State, he said the membership drive under his leadership will be based on APC ideology.
I believe that a progressive party is based on a progressive ideology, which is about people, it's pro-people, it's pro-poor, it's pro-masses, it's pro-labor. It's not conservative. It seeks to put the people before and redistribute wealth in a way that we minimize the gap between the haves and the have-not. You know, that is at the heart of any progressive party. Now we want to be able to really build a political party that, if you have to join, we must ask the question, does he believe in this ideology, or does he just want to use us as a platform for my election? And this is a huge challenge to deal with. That is to say, the doors will be open, but not open to all kinds of people, such that the observer can distinguish between one party and the other. It is not the best commentary on our democratic process that people often say, and with some good reason, that they are not able to know the difference. I want to be able to show what that difference is.
Also speaking on President Buhari re-election 2019, he said his biggest strength are the masses.
And particularly now that we have a president who I know, his strongest constituency is the mass. The people who are most hostile to him are the big guys up there. And so he provides us a basis, if we provide institutional support, to let Nigeria know what distinguishes a progressive party from a conservative party that I believe.
The Director General of Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, has said that the Imo State Governor, Rochas Okorocha, is free to leave All Progressive Congress. Okechukwu said this while responding to a question from newsmen at the National Secretariat of APC in Abuja. Okechukwu said the APC was now better positioned to make a greater impact on the Southeast with or without the governor. He expressed confidence that the APC will consolidate on its power come 2019 by winning seats at the executive and legislative level in state and at the federal level. Okechukwu said at least there are more than 60 political parties. Now Okorocha is free to join any of his choice. According to him, though, they are not forcing him to leave, but what they are saying is that he has taken leadership out of his hand because he was playing God. Meanwhile, one of the conveners of the APC Restoration Coalition in Imo State, Dr. Tio Elechi, said Von DG was merely expressing a personal opinion. Elechi noted that Okorocha now remains the governor of Imo State and that his support and contribution will be welcome should he decide to continue to support the APC.